The Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network and Flo College is proud to present Old Dominion Athletic Conference Volleyball from inside Turner Gymnasium on the campus of the University of Lynchburg. Hello again, volleyball lovers. It's Kyle Haney with my guy, the tag team partner himself, Ethan Morotsky. And Ski, on a personal level, it's our first game of the year. It feels like it's been years since we worked together, but it was actually just in the spring, and we've got a fun ball game here. The Averett Cougars in town to take on the Lynchburg Hornets.
Yeah, it's been a couple months since we've been able to be on the air together, but I'm super excited. This is easily the best Hornets team we've seen ever at this college, and they're on a historic run. They started with their best season just at 6-1 at that record, and they've just completely taken off and flipped the script. You look at last year, and they only hosted one game where they're in the range of hosting a couple in the ODAC tournament, and it's just an exciting volleyball team every single time they're on the court.
Lynchburg is 17-2 this year, 5-1 in the ODAC, and as Ethan mentioned, a good year last year at 19-12. They did host the one first-round conference game, but could be more in store this year. Could be something in store post-conference, maybe in the national tournament, but still work to be done on that. The opponent tonight, the Averett Cougars, 4-12, 1-6 in conference, have won back-to-back games. And when you talk to Kevin Cardoza about this Averett squad, he said, it's a team that we should beat. But should is a dangerous word. You got to dot your T's and cross your I's, or whatever the phrase is, and make sure that you're ready to play volleyball, because Averett has enough talent. They could make this an interesting game tonight. Got to make sure you don't overlook the Cougars.
Yeah, these are known as challenge games. If you're Lynchburg, you're a team that's been receiving votes the last couple weeks. This is a struggling Averett team, but they're, like you said, they've won 2 matches in a row. They've gone 6 straight sets without dropping to any team. So this is a challenge game. You don't want to play down to their level. You want to play at your level, your game of volleyball, so you don't fall, and you're hoping that you can win this in 3 if you're Lynchburg. If you're Averett, you're coming out here showing your true colors. You're going to try and challenge this squad and send them deep.
Yeah, if you're Averett, coached by Emma Nash in her first season. She was playing for this ball club not so long ago, but Emma Nash, the coach now, I'm sure she's encouraging her players, hey, have fun, let's play hard, let's see where we're at after set 1, and you just never know what might happen here tonight in Turner. We've got some other little statistical things that we want to look at here for both these teams, and we really are at the point in the season now in mid-October, Ethan, where the stats are starting to show your true colors. Sometimes I always talk about, I don't even like to show them early in the year, but now you really do get a true sense of how you're playing, and there's your per set numbers. I mean, you can see Lynchburg with a big advantage in the kills per set. That doesn't tell the whole story, but that tells you Lynchburg's been playing really good volleyball, solid offensive volleyball too.
Yeah, I really like how you stated later on in the season your numbers sort of start to stagnate, and you really see what your team is made of. And when you look at Lynchburg and Averett, look at the blocks. I mean, they're pretty even, 1.5 for Lynchburg per set, 1.4 for Averett. So you really want to look at the defensive side. And with that being said, you really want to look at Leah DiNardo on this Lynchburg side. The former Defensive Player of the Week for the ODAC, she has just been crushing it lately. She's a sophomore from Virginia Beach, and she's somebody who got a couple sets in last year, but has really come onto the scene in that middle blocker role. There she is. You see some highlights. 13 solo blocks and 34 block assists this season. She's just shown her true colors, and the reason why you want to recruit players like her. She's that 5-tool player, but on the defensive end, she's been absolutely fantastic for the Hornets.
Yeah, she was really good offensively in the sweep against Guilford last week as well. Hit 750. That was 9 terminations on 12 swings, no errors. That actually rewrites part of the record book. That's the second highest single game attack percentage in Lynchburg history. And DiNardo may rewrite that record book more by the time she is done. What a player. Our player that we're keeping an eye on for Averett is Tahani Valines. She's actually a transfer from Randolph. Very good player from Randolph, and now she's wearing the blue and gold for the Averett Cougars. She's going to be somebody, I think, Ethan, you have to say, will need to play a great game in order for Averett to have a chance to spring the upset.
Yeah, in games like this where you're going up against an opponent that's receiving votes and almost ranked, you want to look to your star players, and Valines, she's perfect for that. She's second on the team in kills with 153, but if you go look deeper into the stats, she actually leads the team in total attempts. And so you can definitely tell that she's somebody that this team looks for up in front of the net to try and just send points downtown and try and get your squad on the board. So we know that we're going to have to call her name a couple times tonight. We're very excited to watch some volleyball from her.
Yeah, Allie Wilkerson is another name to know for Averett. Sydney Mounts, another attacking threat. Dayton Moore will be the single setter that Averett uses. They may run a couple setters, but Dayton Moore has been one of the best in program history with over 1,700 career assists. Setters has been one of our talking points for Lynchburg. It's been mainly Maya Green and Alexis Scipione here, but there are some formidable options on the bench, especially when you think about Jana Leek, who was really just a do-it-all setter for Lynchburg last year. That's an area, and I've said this before on the broadcast, but Kevin Cardoza has mentioned that is a very competitive position right now, the setter spot for Lynchburg.
Yeah, and I really like that you're highlighting that. It's something that this squad didn't have last year with the injury of Maya Green. And like we were talking about, Jana Leek was the sole setter last year, but this squad has a ton of depth this year at the setter position. And like you were talking about, Scipione is really your main setter along with Maya Green with Jana Leek in behind, but it allows you to have that depth. So if one of your players were to happen to go down, you've still got a ton of experience on the bench with Jana Leek to help out this squad, especially now that we're getting later on in the season and you're starting to think about that postseason vibe going on.
First set is right around the corner between two teams playing really good volleyball. Lynchburg has won 11 of 12. It's a 2-game winning streak for the Hornets. The last loss was on the road to Virginia Wesleyan. Averett, subtle, good little winning streak for the Cougars. They've got back-to-back victories, beating Hollins on Tuesday and Warren Wilson on Saturday. We'll meet you at the net for the first serve in just a second. It's Lynchburg and Averett on LHSN and Flo College. We return inside Turner Gymnasium. ODAC volleyball between Lynchburg and Averett. Hornets 17-2, 5-1 in conference. Averett 4-12, 1-6 in ODAC play. Kyle and Ethan, back with you. We're getting the starting lineups announced here. Ethan, a smaller crowd in the gym tonight. I think sometimes that could favor the visiting team trying to spring the upset if it's kind of a lower energy environment. I think that might be a message from Coach Cardozo to his Lynchburg squad is, hey, you might have to make your own energy here tonight. There's not a lot of fans to bring it, so you're going to have to bring it yourself. Yeah,
I completely agree with you. If you're Averett coming into this ball game and you see a little bit of a smaller volume of fans in the stands, it's your job to make it seem like you have your own home field advantage. You got to create your own energy. I love that you said that about Coach Kevin Cardozo, about his girls. But if you're Averett, you start going on a little bit of a run early, you can keep that momentum going just by keeping your own energy up.
Starters tonight for Averett look like it's going to be number 1, Rachel Green, number 10, Tahani Valinas, number 3, Sydney Mounts, number 13, Kaylee Rains. Rains, by the way, is 5th in conference in digs per set. She'll be the libero. Brianna Larios, number 18, in the starting lineup. So is Allie Wilkerson and setter Dayton Moore for the Lynchburg Hornets. Their starting lineup looks like number 22, Kate Hardy, number 19, Leah DiNardo, number 17, Kaylee Keogh, 16, Ava Meinhardt, 13, Tori Williamson, number 6, Abby Barlow, and number 0, Alexis Scipione. Of course, Ethan, sometimes those starting lineups in volleyball are a little interesting because you announce 8 or 9 people, but obviously only 6 can start depending on the rotation you're going to begin with, and we'll see what rotation Lynchburg begins with, but I think it's going to be a fantastic one tonight. Lynchburg in the all black, Averett in the all blue, and Ethan Morotsky is going to take care of you with the play-by-play here for set 1.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic ball game. I've been excited about this. I haven't been able to call a Lynchburg volleyball game since the Virginia Wesleyan loss, which was a great match. Lynchburg obviously went down in 5 sets to them, but they've bounced back after that, and they beat Shenandoah and Guilford. And then you look on the other side, we mentioned it earlier, Averett, they're on a 2-game win streak, so they're going to come into this ball game with a little bit of swagger, and I think that's exactly what you need coming into a game where you're going up against a team who's having the best season in program history with a second-year coach, and they're also receiving votes kind of on that brink of being in that top 25 on the coaches poll. So you got to have a little bit of swagger for Averett. You got to bring that energy in. We mentioned it earlier with a little bit of a smaller crowd. If you bring that much energy, you go on a run, you can flip the script just like that and turn this from home field advantage to all away advantage.
Yeah, momentum is so interesting in sports, but volleyball is one where that momentum, it really is palpable and impactful. You get on those runs and a team can just go from a C-plus team to an A-plus really quick.
First serve from Scipione is a good one. Averett will set, and it'll be a miss block from Leah DiNardo, our defensive player of the week. A great job, and this is what we're talking about from Averett. You come out of the gate hot, you get a couple consecutive points, and all the advantage is in your hands. And if you're thinking this is the Lynchburg squad that might think that we're going to come in this game and let out. Now Averett's going to come straight out of the gate.
And that was Valinas, our player to watch. And you can see why. They're going to set her early and often.
Saw a little poke from Kate Hardy, and that one is a little too far from Sydney Mounts. And so we'll tie it up at 1-1. We'll see Abby Barlow check in for Morgan Clark, and that's really the aspect that we're talking about. You have a starting lineup of starting 8 that you announced, but you have 6, and then you have a couple rotations. Tori Williamson with the serve. She'll go close net. Averett setting something up, dug up by Scipione. Barlow's going to set Kate Hardy on the far side. It's going to be blocked, kept alive by Scipione, but it's going to go right back to Averett. And Tahani Valinas will send it a little too far. I like the move where Scipione's dig goes right back to the Averett side, but you send it right back towards Lynchburg. It just goes a little too far.
Yeah, smart play there from Valinas, trying to end the rally there. Just missed a bit too strong, but again, she's going to be around the volleyball a lot. How about an ace there for Tori Williamson?
Ace from Tori Williamson, like you said, a beautiful serve. And this is something that this Lynchburg squad has done a tremendous amount of success over the year. You look at last year where they struggled a little bit. Tori Williamson sends it back across. A beautiful kill from Sydney Mounts right back at Lynchburg. Makes the score 3-2 in favor of the Hornets.
Yeah, Mounts is a good player. That'll be termination number 159 this year. She averages over 2.5 kills per set, so an effective scoring option for the Cougars.
Kylie Raines will send this across towards the Hornets, dug up by Clark. Scipione will set DiNardo in the middle, and a missed dig. That'll be point Lynchburg. It was Dayton Moore on the end of that. Just a little bit of a miss it, and you give the Hornets a 2-point lead.
Yeah, Leah DiNardo so terminal in the fact that she looks to get kills. She does not look to just get the ball in play. She looks to stay terminal and score on every chance she gets. There's a serve that went too long. And you mentioned serving a bit last year. I think the serving has been, in general, a bit more aggressive this season for Lynchburg, and it has led to a few more errors for the Hornets. I mean, they're averaging 3 errors per set. So I think still some work to be done there to try to stay aggressive with the serve, but get more of them in.
Scipione set for Hardy. There's that tough hit, but a beautiful block from Sydney Mounts again. We've called her name 3 times already, and that one sends it right back towards Lynchburg, and we got a tie ball game at 4.
And that's an energy builder there for Averett. You could see their reaction on that big block. That is one that they can build on for the momentum.
That serve a little too far from Megan Littman. And we'll give Lynchburg back the lead. And we mentioned Kate Hardy with a strong hit on the point before. She has been tremendous as she steps up to the service line. This is what I love about her game. I mean, this is one of the hardest serves that you're going to see probably in all of Division III volleyball.
Yeah.
Beautiful serve from Hardy. Set for Averett. And that one blocked by Keogh and will go out of bounds. So we're back to a tie ball game. And this is, if you're Averett, this is exactly what you want. You want to keep it close for as long as you can. You know that Lynchburg is the top squad in the ODAC in the country, but you keep it close, you keep that energy up, and you got a good shot.
Hey, you summed it up perfectly there. I mean, Averett's really playing well right now. Good blocking early from the Cougars. They're scoring. They're forcing Lynchburg to make a few mistakes. Can't wait till we get to see Kate Hardy serve again. We'll talk more about that big booming serve. I mean, I think you're right. I think it's one of the best in Division III volleyball, and sometimes she needs a few to really crank up. You know, the first couple will be second and third gear, but when she hits that 5th gear, it's almost unreturnable.
The Mounts close to getting an ace. Jacqueline Bryant will have that one sent back in her direction. So the Cougars will now get their second lead of the ball game at 6-5. So a great serve for Mounts. Just kind of hit that top of the net and almost started to just die on the other side of the court.
Yeah.
Clark will dig this serve up. Sorry, Kyle.
No, you're good. I was going to go back to the last play, but we'll just focus on this one now. That's the great thing about volleyball. There's always another play, right?
Kaylee Keogh can't get that one to go, and now here come the Cougars. They're starting to extend their, I don't know, they'll say point Lynchburg. We'll have to see what the referees say. Maybe a little bit of a net infringement possibility.
Yeah, Mounts was still going back to serve. She was sure that Averett had the point. That ties us up, but no, that was an interesting one there. It looked like more great blocking again from Averett, but yeah, I think someone in the net there, Ethan. So that's, you have to say a bit of a break there for Lynchburg as they have been rejected a couple times. Blocking from Averett early, a standout.
Kaylee Keogh will send this across, a great serve and an even better effort from Jabali. Sent back to Lynchburg. Keogh with a dig. Maya Green will set up Ava Meinhardt. She finds some open space in the back. It looked like Averett might have thought that was going to go a little too far, but it just plops right in there right before the line. And now Hornets trying to keep this lead and trying to go on their own little run with Kaylee Keogh still at the service line.
Beautiful touch from Meinhardt there. It's not always power and velocity.
We saw Alyssa Hatcher try and just send that one across. Those are the plays that honestly, those are some of my favorites. And it goes off of what you were just mentioning. It's not all about the power in front of the net. If you can place that ball in the right spot, you got a good chance of getting that point. Averett trying to set themselves up. Meinhardt with a beautiful block with Bryant. They'll just send a free ball over. Barlow with a dig. Tori Williamson sends it cross court. Averett keeps it alive. Rachel Green will send this across. Maya Green setting up Kaylee Keogh. She'll send a free ball over. Hits the top of the net. What a save from Megan Littman. Tori Williamson now. This is a great rally from both these squads. Averett sending it too far. Kaylee Keogh will keep it alive. Jacqueline Bryant finally sends it home, gives Lynchburg their 9th point of set 1.
Beautiful call by you, and that was our longest rally of the set and our best one as well. A lot of back and forth there. Good chase down from Averett. How about Jackie Bryant there? You saw the replay. Rally ender off the outside arm on the block.
Jackie Bryant, a transfer for this Lynchburg squad as Keogh sends it across. And, you know, I highlighted this when they went down to Virginia Wesleyan. Jacqueline Bryant and Maya Green, they're kind of a dynamic duo. If you notice throughout the match, whenever Jacqueline Bryant will come off the court, Maya Green will follow, and then they'll bring on Kate Hardy and Scipione. So I really like saying this. They got a couple of dynamic duos going for them. Maya Green will set Bryant again, sent back towards Lynchburg's direction, and this is the defense we were talking about for Averett. They've been doing a great job staying hot at the net and sending back almost everything for Lynchburg.
And the rejections have been kind of floating towards the back third of the court like that. It's not a roof where it goes straight down on the block, but they've been floating back. So if you're Lynchburg, you might adjust the cover a little bit and keep a player back there. Tell them just to, hey, take a couple steps back and let's get that floater when it comes back on our side.
Free ball for Lynchburg. Maya Green, she'll set up Ava Meinhardt in the middle, find some open space. Into that backhand corner, 10-8. Lynchburg, as we'll see DiNardo check in for Morgan Clark.
Yeah, great job to find a lane there from Ava Meinhardt. She'll go back to serve. Impressive from Lynchburg what they're doing right now, because I think we both said it. Averett's playing pretty good volleyball. This was a nice test for Lynchburg. And, yeah, you want to blow people out, Ethan, but I think it's better for a team to actually get tested as the year goes on.
Absolutely, and we'll see Rachel Green send that one into the net. And I completely agree with you, especially when you get into that part of your season where you're done with most of your non-conference matchups. Of course, Lynchburg will head to Salisbury next week, but you're mainly going up against your ODAC rivalry teams, and especially when you get later on into the season and you get into that playoff vibe, you love these style of ball games. And that one right into the net from Larios. And Lynchburg starting to extend their lead. They're up by 4, and it'll be a quick timeout from Emma Nash. And we'll stay right here, Kyle. Might as well. I mean, we love talking about these teams. We'll focus on Coach Kevin Cardoza. This is his second year as the head coach for Lynchburg, and what a fantastic job he's done to this program.
His energy is so infectious. I mean, when you talk to him, when I talk to him, when anybody on campus talks to Coach Kevin Cardoza, you just feel, I mean, it's like he throws off sparks when he walks and talks. You know, he's that kind of a guy. And I think sometimes other coaches, you know, maybe that gets under your skin a little bit, but that's not what Coach K is trying to do. He's just authentically himself, and he really knows volleyball, and I think his energy combined with that knowledge, the coaching knowledge, knows how to relate the information to the players. It's been so good for Lynchburg as a program. And he's also one of those coaches, like so many of the great ones, Ethan, he's going to give the players the credit. You know, he's going to say, hey, the players did it. They worked for it. And there's a lot of truth in that as well, but sometimes you need the right guide there to push you in the right direction.
Got brought into this program last year and got them a playoff win, and now it just seems like this team has taken off. This is the best season in program history, and he's done just an absolutely fantastic job with these girls.
And Coach Cardoza will say, hey, I knew there was talent here. That's part of the reason why I wanted to come here. You know, it wasn't a complete rebuilding situation or anything like that for Coach Cardoza, but he has just meshed so well with the players' personality. I think with all the other coaches on campus and staff and administration, he fits right in there, and he really brings a lot to Lakeside Drive. We love having him, and I think the players love playing for him.
Ava Meinhardt will serve this a little too far, so you're Averett, you come out of that timeout, you get an immediate point. Lynchburg gave that one to you. Cut the lead down to 3, and that's exactly what you want. And maybe coaches will say, Coach Emma Nash will say, that's exactly why we called that timeout. Yeah. You want to slow down the game a little bit. If you're a football fan, you want to ice the kicker. You want to ice the other team. So I really love that timeout. Ice that server
a little bit. Yeah, no, it's a great timeout from Coach Nash. And remember, Averett was playing well. They had a couple little mishits. There's DiNardo climbing the ladder. But that was a good timeout for Coach Nash. Averett back down 4. Now, I think she senses this is really a critical point in set 1. You know, we can play with Lynchburg, but you can't play from a 5-point hole, right? So that was kind of the intent on the timeout there as well. Now let's see if Lynchburg can accelerate to the finish line and really start to blow this set open.
Scipione at the service line. She checks in right into the net. She'll also check in with Kate Hardy. So We see some more serving struggles, and last year I think you and I would agree that that was probably one of their biggest problems, and they've cleaned it up. Like you said, they're more aggressive at the service line, and I love that. I would much rather you be aggressive at the service line trying to take your own points rather than be conservative and scared. Kate Hardy, a monstrous hit. Tori Williamson trying to keep it alive. Keough cannot. It won't go far enough, and so Cougars, you cut that lead down to 2, so you call the timeout down by 4. Now you've cut it in half, and so you're in a really good spot if you're Averett to try and go on a little bit of a run.
More great blocking from the Cougars. I mean, their presentation is very good, tight to the net, making it very difficult. There's another one right on cue, Ethan. I mean, Averett is really blocking well. This is some of the best blocking we've seen. I've got the Cougars for 5 block points now, 5 of the 12. Really great number there for Averett, and they're back within 1. They could tie it.
It was Brianna Larios on that one, and you cut the lead down to 1 like you said. Scipione sending it across. That's the placement that we've been talking about. It's not all about power, Kyle. If you can just find some open space, especially from your setter, to be able to kickstart or jumpstart your offense, I mean, that's huge for any team.
And that's a great way to get around a really good block. Attack on 2, attack early. Very smart. That's another great way to defeat a good block. Just outserve the other team. Ace from Tori Williamson.
Tori Williamson, she has been a veteran on this team this year, and she's just done an outstanding job. And you got to think, with all the talent that Coach Kevin Cardozo brought in, we weren't sure what anybody's role was going to be. Tori Williamson, she's done a great job.
She's really had to earn it as well. Now Lynchburg rolling again. That's a beautiful thing about our sport. Back and forth. Lynchburg's got kind of an elastic lead. They stretched it out to 4. Averett got a chance to tie it up. Now it's back to a 4-point advantage for the Hornets.
Beautiful job from DiNardo to send that one back into the Cougars. And another good serve from Tori Williamson. And we'll get a net infringement, so point Lynchburg. And Tori Williamson, if you keep that player at the line, if you see a little bit of a rhythm back out there at the service line, that's something that you love to see, because it means you got that mental thought in your brain, like, we are going on a run. Let's keep the offense going. Let's keep the pressure on them. Another beautiful serve from Williamson. And a beautiful block from Leah DiNardo, the machine. The gears are turning, Kyle. The cogs are working. There's a reason why she is the machine, and that is exactly it. Defensive Player of the Week, Leah DiNardo. What a special talent on this squad.
Absolutely phenomenal athlete, and she has so much feel around the net, so much volleyball IQ. And she plays the game with passion, too. She's another one of those, Ethan, that really loves to celebrate after the point. Why wouldn't you celebrate some of those big ones? Hornets have their biggest advantage of set 1, on top by 6 now. Love the fight from Averett, but this is what Lynchburg can do to you. They just break you down. They just get hot themselves. You mentioned that rhythm from the service line. You're a bowler, Ethan. It's kind of like when you're bowling, you get that one strike and you kind of feel it, and then all of a sudden you get that rhythm and you get better and better. Same thing can happen on the service line. Go back to last week, Kaylee Keough, she had 3 aces in a row at one point, and even beyond that, just that tough serving makes it difficult for the other team to run their offense.
And I think that's where the aggressiveness comes from. If you're not afraid to just go out there and get it yourself, then that puts you in a really good spot. If you can get in your head that you're going to make errors. This is not a game of perfection. Obviously, you want to be as close as perfection as you can, but it's just not going to happen. Nobody is like that in volleyball. But if you play aggressive and confident, you set yourself up for so much success, and that's what this Lynchburg team has done this year better than what it seems like almost everybody in the country, is that they're so confident on the floor.
I agree with those statements. I mean, great. It's fantastic that you pointed out confidence, because it's hard to quantify it, but Lynchburg has it, and wow, they've got that as well with Kate Hardy. That is a live wire for a right arm.
Kate Hardy, the transfer grad student from Mercer. I want to highlight her a little bit as we take a look. Just the MPH on that has to be through the roof. But Kate Hardy, somebody that at Mercer, she actually didn't play indoor volleyball. She was at beach volleyball as DiNardo, and Kate Hardy will send that back. And we'll talk about her all day on defense, Leah DiNardo. But And Kate Hardy, she's somebody who didn't play indoor volleyball at Mercer. She was mainly a beach volleyball player. Came here to Lynchburg, transferred in her hometown. She's just from down the street in Rustburg, and she has just flew onto the scene and done an outstanding job.
Well, and Coach Cardoza said early in the year, look, there's going to be a little bit of a learning curve. Not a learning curve, but she'll just have to shake some of the rust off coming back to the indoor game. But she's such a difference maker. She's such a talent. It did not take her long to find that fifth gear again coming from the sand. And now subs coming into the game for Lynchburg. Number 1, Noelle Sly, sophomore outside from Saratoga Springs, New York. Of course, Coach Cardoza is from New York originally, so that's where a lot of these New York players, the connection comes from. He's recruiting the home state pretty well.
And I think that's perfect for a coach. You gotta recruit wherever you can to find the best players, and that's exactly what you're going to do if you're Coach Kevin Cardoza. Tori Williamson sends that serve just a little too far, and if you finally get her out of the service line and you get the ball back in your own hands.
That was a heck of a run there for Lynchburg.
Kylie Rain sends across a beautiful serve. DiNardo struggling to get back up. Averett trying to get something of their own going as DiNardo will just send a free ball over. Averett another chance, trying, but just can't get it across. It was Allie Wilkerson. It looked like the set was just a little too high, or the jump might have been a little too early. But we'll see Ava Meinhardt and Abby Barlow check in. Barlow will head to the service line.
And that's what Averett can't have if they want to spring the upset. They didn't have that early on in this set, Ethan. They were playing pretty mistake-free, but that was a mistake for the Cougars. A little bit of a miss hit on the serve for Barlow. I want to go back to Noelle Sly here. I'm not seeing any stats, so I think this is a season debut for Sly. So we'll say congratulations to her for getting out on the court in this Wednesday night matchup against Averett.
Exciting moments here on Wayne Prophet Court. Averett will send this one. Looked like it might have gone a little too far. Clark keeps it going. Ava Meinhardt sends it right towards Averett. Now you're only 2 points away from taking set number 1. And realistically, it was a close set for the first half, and then Lynchburg just took off, had a beautiful run with Tori Williamson at the line, and now we've got Kate Hardy, all eyes on her serve.
She might end it right here with 2 from the service line. Wow.
Beautiful serve right on the line. It's a game of inches, and Kate Hardy did a great job finding the near side corner. And now we are on set point, 24-14. Look at that.
It was 13-12 when Averett took the timeout. This is an 11-2 run right now for Lynchburg.
Kate Hardy trying to call set, and just a little too far. It'll be 24-15. We'll get a chunk of substitutions. Morgan Clark, Maya Green, and Jacqueline Bryant. And we'll have Rachel Green check in for the Cougars.
I think that's an error that you can live with, though, right, with Kate Hardy. I mean, she just got an ace. She's kind of like a home run hitter to where she's going to swing for the fences. She's going to have some aces, a.k.a. home runs. She's going to swing and miss sometimes as well. So I think you live with that, and you try to win the set right here.
Now sends that across. There she is, Noelle Sly with her first point, and that is set point. What a beautiful way to introduce yourself into this team. That's set number 1, 25-15, dominant second half for the Hornets. We'll be right back for set number 2. Kyle, you'll be taking over for set number 2. We're going to have a lot of fun going back and forth. This is going to be a great day. Hornets up 1-0 on FloSports and LHSN.
competitive early in set one, and then Lynchburg really broke it open. Hornets go on a 12-3 run to end the set and get the lead. Averett was blocking well early, Ethan. We were very impressed with the Cougars there. Looks like 5 blocking points total, but Averett hit in the negative numbers, negative 176, 3 kills, 6 errors for Averett. They really did start giving Lynchburg some points there in the second half of the set, and the Hornets earned it as well. Lynchburg, 12 terminations on 23 total attacks. They hit 304, 4 aces for Lynchburg. They had a couple blocks of their own. Of course, Leah DiNardo was the ringleader in there.
Yeah, really, really close set in the first half. We were really impressed with Averett and their blocking. You know, usual term, we talked about it over the break. Usual term is they came out swinging, but they came out blocking. Their defense looked fantastic, and they were doing a great job being able to defend a superior offensive team, and just a good start. And if you're the Cougars and your coach Emma Nash, you got to talk to your squad, say, what did we do successful that kept us in that ball game? What are these mental errors that we're missing? And let's figure it out so we can do that the entire set.
Dayton Moore to serve for Averett. Here's Williamson, first swing for Lynchburg in set 2. Take 2, and it's DiNardo, dug up. Contact in the net from Averett will give Lynchburg the first point of the set. Hey, individual numbers for Lynchburg, pretty intriguing here. Ava Meinhardt, 4 terminations. That leads the way. Leah DiNardo not far behind with 3. So think about that. You combine those 2 middles, that's 7 kills combined. It's been a big part of Lynchburg's success, setting the middles, and Hornets continue to block well. Averett will rebuild, and Valinas didn't get good contact on that, sent it into the net. Beg your pardon. Oh, that was Valinas. I'm sorry.
I think what we're seeing from Averett are just these small mental errors, and they're fixable, but they're really not easy to fix. And a beautiful serve from Tori Williamson. We went on that huge run with her back there, and she's continuing her reign of terror at the service line.
Reign of terror. I got to steal that one. Should be ace number 4 for Tori Williamson. We'll see how long she can continue that reign. We'll see if Emma Nash wants to use a timeout here, because I think we both agreed she made good use of the timeouts in set 1, trying to stop that momentum for Lynchburg. You don't want the Hornets to get hot early, especially somebody like Williamson who can terrorize you from the service line. Williamson will get a good on-target pass there. It's DiNardo down the line, picks it out for another Hornet point. And this is that Lynchburg offense that we have seen glimpses of. They're starting to really crank up and get rolling here.
DiNardo continuing her dominance at the net. There's a reason we call her the machine, and she's proven it this ball game and even in the last week.
Overpass there, and Kaylee Keogh might get credit for a kill. No, it's going to be ball handling on Averett, I believe. 5-0 Lynchburg. Yeah, I would assume another point here in Emma Nash for Averett. Will think about using the timeout. One thing that can happen, too, when the other server gets hot, you get stuck in your rotation as Averett. You get what's in a sticky rotation. You just can't get out of it. Scipione going to go to Keogh. That's into the net, and now the Cougars are on the board in set 2.
We really saw Keogh wind up for that. Just went a little too low, but I think if you're up 5-0, you got some insurance points so that you can try stuff like that. You can try and do some extra, a little bit of extra. Not too much, but I really like the idea from Keogh.
I do too. I mean, stay within yourself, but sure, go for the fastball. A little miscommunication there for the Cougars. Campfire moment. They didn't know who was going to take the ball. And now Lynchburg by 5 with Abby Barlow to serve again. 3 good passers in the back row for the Cougars, who need to find some traction here in set 2. Lynchburg does lead 1-0. Good serve from Barlow. She had an error on her only serving attempt in set 1. She'll run down a tip from Scipione. 2 hands from Hardy. Cougars might get in system here. Near side pin, and that's sent into the net and down by Sydney Mounts. Mounts did good work early, but all of a sudden, this is, again, what Lynchburg can do. They get confidence, Ethan, and it takes away your confidence as an opponent.
Yeah, I think what Lynchburg is doing so well, and this might be something that Cardoza said, and Ava Meinhardt, a beautiful block. You see the energy from her as she's given off after a huge play, and there'll be a timeout from Coach Nash. I think something that Coach Cardoza tells her team, or tells his team a lot, is that let's just stay simple. We know the style of game that we play. We know how good we are. Averett, they kept it close at the beginning of the first set, and that's okay. You keep it simple. You play your style of game. Eventually, you're going to start to separate yourself.
Somebody's got the phrase, I'm not sure which team or which famous leader, but the phrase is do simple better, and I think you're right about that. I think that Coach Kevin Cardozo would like that phrase a lot. He might take it a step further and say do the simple things perfect. And once you get to that level, all of a sudden, then you can get into some of the interesting stuff and start going beyond simple. But, yeah, nail the basics, nail the preliminaries, and you're going to play good volleyball. Lynchburg's playing great volleyball right now. They lead by 7. Hornets are on the road for a big one against Roanoke on Friday, and then at Randolph-Macon 1 week from today. That'll be another good test for Lynchburg. That's on October 22nd. And then you mentioned some road games up in Maryland. Salisbury's in there. Stevenson is in there. Our next home game, Ethan, won't be until October 29th. So I believe that's 2 weeks from today. EMU will come calling. And October 29th, that's close to Halloween. That could be like a costume day inside Turner or something. Not saying that you should have anything ready, but it's just a thought to start thinking about here. As Keough skies to get one over the net after the timeout. Valinas with a good rip, but Tori Williamson is there. Nice job by Scipione to get over for the set. Good rally here. Maybe the best one of the second set so far. We only had really one long one in set 1, and it went for Lynchburg. This one will as well. Kaylee Keough will take the point, and the Hornets continue to roll after the timeout. 9-1 Lynchburg.
Great smash by Keough, but I really want to highlight the defensive play from Tori Williamson. Getting down and dirty on the floor. Beautiful job being able to keep that one alive. Keep Barlow at the service line.
Meinhardt, overpass, no problem. She really springs up to snatch those balls out of the sky. One of the best when the other team has an overpass. Back to Williamson real quickly here. She actually leads the team in digs right now. Digs per set, it's 3.04 for Tori Williamson. And you know, Ethan, as Barlow sends that serve into the mesh, usually that's going to be a libero that leads that stat for pretty much every team. But that tells you how good Tori Williamson is on that back line that she leads the team in digs.
Yeah, and I think if you're Coach Kevin Cardozo and Coach Thomas Chandler, you love to see that out of your squad. If one of your non-libero, non-defensive specialists are getting majority of the digs, it just shows you how well they can do on the middle of the court and keep your team alive.
And we should point out that as Kate Hardy gets ready to serve, never make a long-winded point when Kate Hardy is serving, right? Lynchburg leads 11-2. I'll get back to it in a moment here. Look at that. I mean, look at that. It starts with the high toss, athleticism on the jump, and then just that right arm. I mean, it is incredible.
We're going to have to set up a radar gun.
We need to.
At either the next game or next year. We'll get something on the wall because it's something that I've always been fascinated.
We'll get Travis Beasley, the baseball coach at Lynchburg, to lend us the machine they use called the Rapsodo, free advertising for Rapsodo. Averett's got this one up, though, and it's actually turned into a pretty good rally. Kaylee Keough ripping it right through the block. Impressive. It'll keep Hardy on the service line. That was good back-and-forth volleyball there for both teams.
All Lynchburg set number 2, Kate Hardy back at the line, and you've got 11 points to work with. It makes you even more confident back at the serving line, and we'll see what she draws up here.
Notice how she controls both and that's in, by the way, painting, absolutely painting. Kate Hardy has accuracy and velocity, as the celebration was pretty funny there on the Lynchburg sideline. But notice that she controls the height and the backspin on that toss as well. It is just fantastic. Imagine trying to return that in beach volleyball with a little wind out there as well.
A little wind and 4 less players on the court.
Right. Great call. Now Ava Meinhardt's getting in on the act with an absolute hammer. Lynchburg is rolling. I think Averett wants another timeout. They will take a breather. We'll step aside for this one as well. Lynchburg on top 1-0. It's 15-2. Hornets in set number 2. Set 2 underway, and it's all Lynchburg, 15-2. Hornets are rolling. We could talk about the different elements of the game. Right now, Ethan, Lynchburg is doing everything well.
Yeah, it's 15-2. You've got a 13-point lead. It's been all Lynchburg. We mentioned in the first set it was close. Another beautiful serve from Hardy. Another ace from number 22 in black. Just a beautiful job at the service line, but it's been all Lynchburg in set number 2, and it's been a very impressive job that they've done here to start this second frame.
We'll see how long Hardy can keep this rolling. Tori Williamson has 5 aces, by the way. Hardy now with 3. That one tipped over the net. Gave Averett a chance to handle it. Mounts, sent back, and then gets it up with the left hand. Valinas, who is our player to watch earlier, gets a kill. Hardy might have played an out ball there. I heard an out call from the teammates, but that's such a split-second decision. I like Hardy staying aggressive to try to play that right there. It will be finally a break for the Averett Cougars. They get the ball back and serve. New faces for Lynchburg include, let's see who we got out there. Kara Taylor, number 18, looks to be the setter in this rotation, I believe. I think we've got Ashlyn Davis on the court. Let's find a few other ones out there, Ethan. I think Jamie Smith is out there as well. Yeah, Jamie Smith looks like she's the middle. Taylor will go backside and set Kaylee Keogh. And there's a point for Lynchburg, 17-3. Hornets keep on rolling. Here comes Abby Barlow back in the game. So, yeah, it looks like Smith, Taylor, Davis, Barlow, Keogh, and Tori Williamson, the 6 out there right now for Lynchburg. Off the block and out. Much needed point for the Cougars, 17-4. Sydney Mounts back to serve for the gals from Danville, who, really have a strong volleyball tradition. I wanted to make sure we got this in here. Last winning season for Averett was in 2022. Not that long ago. They were actually 20-11 that year, Ethan. They made it to the ODAC finals and then lost. So this is not a team that I think they're used to winning volleyball games. I think this rebuild could come pretty quick for Coach Emma Nash as we get a really good rally here in set 2. Keogh, nice pass. Taylor's going to set Williamson, and that's through the block and down. 18-4 Lynchburg. Tori Williamson flying high. 5 aces for Tori, but that's actually just her first termination, believe it or not.
Beautiful job from the Hornets. You got a 14-point lead, and that's the beauty of it. You've got players like Kara Taylor that can start to shine. If you're Coach Kevin Cardoza, you can use a couple of different players and see how well they do, and possibly later in future games, if they can step up here, they might find some time also. Yeah,
Kara Taylor actually played quite a bit last year as Tori Williamson returned to sender. Take 2 for Tori. Tries the tip this time. Oh, that's down. More blocking again for Averett. That was a strong suit in set 1 when the Cougars were hanging around. We finished the point about Kara Taylor. Season high of 30 assists last year against North Carolina Wesleyan. That was a close ball game. So she really has done good things in her Lynchburg career and a chance to get back out there. Jamie Smith is one to watch for me as well, Ethan. She's a sophomore, 6 foot. There's Leah DiNardo. Not often she gets rejected. And here come those Cougars again. Blocking well. It seems to be something Averett can hang their hat on as far as a strong suit.
There's Brianna Larios on that block, and we've called her name a couple times for the defensive end, and somebody that maybe that they're looking for to step up. A beautiful job from the Hornets. It was Ashlyn Davis in her first point of the contest.
Good stuff there from Ashlyn Davis. Subs coming in for Lynchburg. For Davis, it's kill number 2 this season. Jana Leak in to serve and set for Lynchburg. Kate Hardy is back on court. So this is more of what you might say a normal kind of rotation or a normal look for Lynchburg, just with Jana Leak as the setter. We know how talented Jana Leak is. I'll rattle off some numbers in just a moment if you don't know about Jana Leak's skills. That one high and wide from the Cougars. Last year, Jana Leak, she had 20 or more assists, so 20-plus assists last season, 27 times. So basically in every single game, she had 20-plus assists as that one hits the rafters and is going to come down for a Lynchburg point. Jana Leak over 1,000 assists in her career on Lakeside Drive.
Yeah, she was fantastic last year for the Hornets. Again, with an injury from Maya Green that took her out for the season. Scipione was not here at Lynchburg. She really had to step up, and she did just exactly that. She did a fantastic job as the setter, as the main setter role last year.
Good read by Barlow to not play an out ball there. More Lynchburg points. Sub back in the game, Noelle Sly. She ended set 1 with a kill. Hey, Jana Leak very good on the service line, too. Her career high in aces in a match is 8. She is much like a lot of these other Lynchburg players. She can really get toasty and heat up from that service line. 22-6, all Lynchburg right now. Cougars still playing hard. Let's see if they can make a furious rally and get back in this. Sly with the set from Leak. That one unable to be run down by the Cougars, and Lynchburg is now 2 away.
Noelle Sly again, and now, like you said, 2 points away from taking set number 2. It has just been all Lynchburg, and these last couple points, this huge rally, it's been all Jana Leak at the service line.
Yeah, really good from Jana Leak. 23-6, look at that, velocity hits the tape, great effort by the libero to just keep that one up. That was Raines that kept it in play momentarily, but another Lynchburg point, and now a chance to end it and take the 2-0 advantage. Lynchburg did win set 1. It was a 12-3 run for Lynchburg to end the opening inning here. Another good serve from Leak. Cougars will get in system. That ball is out, though, and Lynchburg will take it. 25-6. Comprehensive victory in set 2, and Lynchburg will go looking for the sweep when we come back. LHSN on Flo College.
Hornets lead 2-0 over the Cougars. It has been all Lynchburg, really led by Tori Williamson. She's done a fantastic job. Ava Meinhardt, Leah DiNardo, a lot of different names we can call on. We've seen some of the depth from Coach Kevin Cardoza come onto the court. We might see him a little more in set number 3, but Kyle, this Hornet team has just taken off ever since it was 12-13 in that first set. And they haven't let the Averett Cougars get any easy points.
No breathing room in the second set at all for Averett. Lynchburg wins that one 25-6 after a very competitive first portion of set one. Remember, it was 13-12 Lynchburg in set one. Averett was really fighting hard, but since then, Hornets have pulled away. And you mentioned that depth. I mean, for Lynchburg, it looks like 10 players have kills for Lynchburg. I think 7 players have assists, rather. Scipione's got 9 assists. Barlow and Leak have 1. Tori Williamson has an assist. Maya Green with 5. Kara Taylor, 3. Jackie Bryant has an assist. I mean, really a total team effort for Lynchburg. And we're going to see Cassie Blackmore in the game as the libero for the home team.
First time she's checked in this matchup. We'll see Scipione head to the service line. And if you're Coach Kevin Cardoza, you're obviously thinking of the games ahead of you and the one that you have right now. But being able to play your depth, it shows you what you've got the next couple years, because you're not going to have these players forever.
Great experience for younger players. Ooh, a rare rejection of Leah DiNardo there. It looked like Larios really timed that up nicely. 5'10", Salt Lake City, Utah. Love that for Averett to get Larios from not quite the West Coast, but certainly Western time zone. Maybe they might be Mountain time zone, actually. Might have to look that up.
Levelinas at the serving line for the Cougars. Be dug up by Tori. Cassie Blackmore sends it all the way to Kate Hardy, and it'll be knocked away by Averett. They keep it alive. Blocked by DiNardo and Kate Hardy again. Kate Hardy with the setback will send it right back to Averett. And it'll be a tie game at 1 as Tori Williamson, we've highlighted a lot at the service line. She's done a fantastic job, but she's heading back there once more. She's going to try and send them back on a run.
If you're Averett, I think a big key is just remember the fundamentals. I mean, that's what we said about Lynchburg, right? Do simple better. That should be a key here for Averett. Play hard and see where you're at. Leah DiNardo always knows where she's at, found a lane to score it one more time and give Lynchburg the lead.
And I know we're saying simple a lot, but that's really, it's the best word for it. You don't want to overcomplicate things, because when you overcomplicate things, you make those small mental errors. As Tori Williamson sends another good serve across, it'll be Sydney Mounts that'll be rejected by Lynchburg. Averett will get another chance. That one sent a little too far. Lynchburg, good job staying on their toes. DiNardo tries to send it back, but it'll be an Averett free ball. And that one finds an open space. Rachel Green sends that back to Lynchburg and ties it up at 2.
Green is a senior. It's a really well-balanced Averett roster as far as they've got some young talent. They've got some veterans. Lynchburg very, very similar. And the Hornets, you know, they've even got a player like Bree Spainauer, who we haven't been able to see because of injury this season, who's a senior and one of the best in school history. This is a loaded Lynchburg squad. Ooh, little serve kind of fooled Lynchburg, and Tori Williamson tried to stick the foot out at the last instance, but couldn't keep it up there. And that foot would be legal if she got it up, but unfortunately she didn't.
It was Kylie Raines at the service line for Averett, and she's got another chance to try and extend this lead. Tori Williamson gets it this time. Scipione, a little bit of a back set for Kate Hardy, but she gets it across. It'll be Averett. They're going to try and extend, and that one will do it. It was a Kaylee Keogh and Leah DiNardo attempt. And it just goes outside of the court, so now you start to extend to a 2-point lead. We're seeing a little bit of the Averett Cougars that we saw at the beginning of set number 1, Kyle.
Yeah, 2-point lead for Averett. I believe this matches their biggest advantage of the night, and you're right. They've come out with a bit more confidence. See how long Averett can keep it going.
Kaylee Keogh, and that will be sent back towards Lynchburg. It was a good attempt. DiNardo, the power, the machine, Leah the Machine, DiNardo. I know I say it a lot. I love the nickname, the Machine. Leah DiNardo, she's been so special on this squad.
Yeah, I love it too. I mean, you just occasionally do a little routine maintenance, make sure you get the oil in there and check all the gears. But yes, she is machine-like. And another one just has so much fun. That one wide right. Now we're tied 4-4. Had a bunch of ties in set 1. This set 3 is unfolding a bit like that.
And I think Lynchburg, we mentioned it at the end of set number 2, they're doing a good job playing their own style of game. They went down 2, and they brought it back and tied it up at 4. Here comes Averett. Good dig by Cassie Blackmore. It'll be set up for Keogh. She's just going to have to send a free ball over. It'll be a set from Raines. Cross court. That one sent too far, but it sounded like we got a tip at the net, but they're calling it a Lynchburg point.
It sure did. Emma Nash, the head coach for Averett, out of her seat immediately saying the same thing. She felt there was a touch there. I'm with you. There was something audible there as the ball went by.
Definitely heard something. Blackmore staying at the service line. She sends a good serve across. And a good block from Keogh and Meinhardt. And we mentioned the defense for Averett in that first set, and it is completely flipped around. It seems almost impossible right now to be able to get it to go for the Cougars. This front line for Lynchburg is just so strong. They're so good.
4-0 run right now for Lynchburg. If you're Averett, do you consider a timeout here again? Now it's 5 in a row for Lynchburg. If you're Emma Nash, this is what you can't have. You can't have the Hornets get really hot like they did in set 2. I mean, Lynchburg really just dominant in set 2. Cassie Blackmore, she's deceptively dangerous from that service line as well.
Got a little bit of that knuckle on the ball going across. You don't really know which direction it's going to go. And another beautiful block from Ava Meinhardt, keeping the run going. And it will be a timeout for Coach Emma Nash. We'll keep it here, Kyle. We'll talk about how well this Lynchburg Hornet team has done, not just today, but the entire season. I want to go back a couple weeks. They had a really tough week. They had Bridgewater on a Friday, and then you had to turn around quickly and play a number 6 ranked at the time, W&L. They beat Bridgewater in 4 sets, showed a lot of bright stars in that ball game, and then again a quick turnaround the very next day. You play one of the best teams in the nation, and it was a great ball game. They beat W&L in 5 sets, and I think ever since that game, I think that was just a flip in the light switch in their heads. I think they were just like, we are as good as we think we are. We are a great ball club, and we can do something amazing. And we're witnessing history, Kyle.
It is a historical season. It has been up to this point, and I think it will continue to be. I think that's something for the fans to keep in mind. Enjoy this. Enjoy this, because you don't know, yes, you assume Lynchburg's going to be great for years to come, Ethan, but you know how sports can be. It's fragile. You don't know if you're going to get another great year like this. So enjoy every set, every game. Some more things about what you were saying. I love what you said about that Friday, Saturday. Remember, it was a Friday night against Bridgewater and then a Saturday morning against Washington and Lee. Those two teams were selected ahead of Lynchburg in the ODAC preseason poll. So to beat those two teams in basically 12 hours says a lot about the makeup of Lynchburg's ball club.
What a great job by Cassie Blackmore earlier on this rally. Averett keeps it going. Scipione set right to Meinhardt. Finds the near corner. You go back and Cassie Blackmore, that was an amazing job from her, laying out, getting the save. Yeah. She's going to get a little high five from Coach Kevin Cardoza. Yeah. You love to see that from your coach.
That's fantastic. And Coach Cardoza is feisty, but it's pretty rare to see him get off the seat and high five somebody in between points. That tells you just how good that play was from Blackmore.
A beautiful block from Meinhardt. Averett will send it back over. Scipione to Kate Hardy, sent back but out of bounds in Lynchburg. They're going to keep their run going, and Cassie Blackmore, she's going to stay at the line. We'll get a quick look from that Ava Meinhardt point earlier. Just a beautiful job finding the corner. Like you said, with Kate Hardy on her serve, Ava Meinhardt painting corners out here.
Incredible. 8-0 run for Lynchburg.
Another good serve from Blackmore. Averett will send it back. Scipione to Keogh this time, spreading the love. Can't keep it alive. A good block from Averett. There's that defense we've highlighted a couple times. And now you start to stop the run. It's 10-5. You still got a 5-point deficit. But with some new names checking in, this is the moment. This is that you got to seize this opportunity. Lynchburg hasn't given you very many points. If you take it yourself, you got to go on a little bit of run. You got to get this second point first, though.
Yeah, Cougars led this third set 4-2, and then 8 in a row from Lynchburg. But now maybe a chance for traction for Averett. Got to be clinical here. And it wasn't.
Sending a free ball over. Tori Williamson to Scipione. Scipione to Meinhardt. Beautiful dig from Kylie Raines. And Averett will send a free ball. Scipione back to Kate Hardy. A backward set. Beautiful job. Kate Hardy, how do you do? 11-5 Lynchburg.
Absolutely electric. Just the way she moves and then the force that the ball comes off with, it's just so good from Kate Hardy. She is so dangerous. And again, she's just part of an offensive arsenal for Lynchburg that really is so well-rounded, so much depth and balance. Great performance right now. Let's see if Lynchburg can take it home in style. Still work to do here in set 3.
Beautiful serve. That one will hit the rafters, quickly come down. Good job by Averett to keep it alive. Another good save by Cassie Blackmore. Can this one get across? It will not. Too many hits from Lynchburg. It was a good job from both teams to keep it alive, but we'll have a chunk of people checking in for Lynchburg. It'll be Jana Leak, Jacqueline Bryant, and I believe Morgan Clark checking in for the Hornets, as we'll have Sydney Mounts back at the service line for Averett.
Gennardo leads Lynchburg with 8 kills. Ava Meinhardt, 7. Kate Hardy's got 6.
Haley Keogh. You don't see that very often, a great block from the Cougars. It's tough to be able to block this front line of the Hornets, but when you do, you gotta give enthusiasm. I mean, the energy from Averett, it has not faltered. It's been there all match when they deserve it.
Good serve from the Averett Cougars as well. A number on that blocking, 8 blocking points for Averett, and they've really, I think, again, that's a great challenge for Lynchburg, because as the season goes on, and if you want to make a long postseason run, if you're the Hornets, you're going to face some great blocking teams. How do you adjust? How do you get around it? What options do you go to? There's a great option right there. Just said Ava Meinhardt, get her one-on-one in the middle, and she'll take care of business. Lynchburg back up by 4. But that's why, as I said earlier, I think as a coach, everybody would love a blowout win and you play perfect, but it's nice to get tested in different ways. Now Lynchburg doing their thing on the blocking side as well to send Valinas back. And I just think, a good fight here from Averett, again, especially with the blocking being a standout. They can lean into that, and I think that's something Emma Nash can use to build her team's confidence.
Yeah, and I really like what you were talking about. Every coach obviously wants to blow out, but you like to see your team how well they do up against adversity. Averett will be blocked by Meinhardt, and it will go down, and we've seen a defensive display of, it's legendary up front even for both these teams. Or for Lynchburg at the moment, their offense has just done amazing. And if you're Coach Emma Nash, this is one of the most aggressive teams you're going to go up against all season, if not the most aggressive. Yeah. So with how well your defense has been, that's a big bright spot. That's something that you can build upon, and you just say to your team, hey, this is what we've done well. Let's start to focus on other things while doing well on defense. Now, that free ball won't go over. A little bit of a low set for Valinas, and that'll be Coach Emma Nash's second timeout. We'll be back in a short moment here on FloSports. Lynchburg up 15-8 on LHSN. Hornets lead the Cougars 2-0. They currently control a 7-point lead in set number 3. They're trying to bring the broomsticks out and get themselves a sweep against the Averett Cougars. Kaylee Keogh at the service line, and it has been all defense really for both these teams. It's been stellar on both sides of the court. As Jana Leak will set up Williamson, finds that back half corner. And a beautiful job coming out of the timeout. You've doubled your lead, 16-8. What a job from Tori Williamson.
Beautiful shot there from Williamson. She's got all the shots in addition to everything she can do on the back row. And I'll give you some numbers about how well-rounded Lynchburg is here at the conclusion of this point.
Tori Williamson a little low on that, so we highlighted her on the last point, but it shows that not everybody's perfect, but she's human. Tori Williamson, she's done a great job, but just a slight error in front of the net.
Lynchburg has 32 kills. They're hitting at .355 right now. And then check this out. Lynchburg has 9 points from aces, 9 aces, 7 total blocks. So we've been talking about Averett blocking well. They've got 9 blocks. Lynchburg not far behind with 7 block points as well.
See Emma Cash step onto the court for the Hornets. Jacqueline Bryant was blocked, but they keep it alive, and she goes for it again. A great job by Averett to stay alive. They'll send a free ball over. It'll be Meinhardt on the dig. Jana Leak sets up Bryant for a third time, and she gets blocked. It's the defense for Averett. They're staying alive, and it's rare that you see Jacqueline Bryant, of all people, get blocked twice in one rally.
Exactly right. Exactly right. 10th block point for Averett. And back to how you can use that for your strategy for Coach Emma Nash, not to be confused with Emma Cash, who's on court for Lynchburg. But Coach Nash can say, hey, maybe in the serving line, we just make sure we get more balls in because we are blocking so well. Let's force them in. Maybe we get more points, make it 11 now. And look at the Cougars bench come alive, and they should come alive right there. Excellent stuff on the defensive side there in the front row for the Cougars.
Volinas back-to-back blocks on Jacqueline Bryant. You give your team back-to-back points, and now you give yourself an opportunity. The bench is getting a little more energy as Allie Wilkerson sends a good serve across. It'll be Ava Meinhardt shutting down any sort of momentum for the Cougars. Puts them up 17-11.
Yeah, and that's smart volleyball IQ there by Lynchburg, probably more specifically the setter, Jana Leak. She's just seen her pin hitter get blocked a couple times. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go to the middle, get it to Meinhardt, let her do her thing, and now it's Ava Meinhardt to serve.
Beautiful serve from Meinhardt. Hey, Cougars will just have to send a free ball. Dug up by Emma Cash. Tori Williamson a little late on the set, but just finds the near line. I mean, that's beautiful
just
volleyball.
Floats in with the left hand. I mean, that was impressive. That was like ballerina-like. Call her a ballerina, because that was absolutely fantastic from Tori Williamson, just floating on there and then a little touch with the left hand.
Meinhardt will send it into the net, and going back to that last point, it's just the ability to change your course of action mid-air. I mean, the thing that I can think of that I can compare it to is Michael Jordan.
Sure.
When he goes up on that layup, where he had to change. It's probably, I didn't watch it because, I wasn't born. But I think we all know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Just a beautiful job from Tori Williamson. And there she is again, but a beautiful job from the Cougars keeping it alive. And there's Leah DiNardo. All day she has been a tremendous asset in front of the net, as we'll have Kara Taylor and Jamie Smith check in. We saw them in set number 2, and they will check in here for set number 3. Taylor actually will head to the service line.
Meinhardt and DiNardo now tied team lead, 9 terminations apiece. So they've combined for 18 of the 35 Lynchburg kills. And then, that one up there with the net joust, the overpass. Leah DiNardo is so good above the tape. That is really when she excels.
Lynchburg really looking for Tori Williamson in the last couple points. A beautiful job from Cadence Woodleaf from the back half of the court, but she'll check out. A beautiful job. I mean, that's not easy from that far back from the net to be able to find an open space between 2 Hornet defenders.
Yeah, she averages less than a half a kill per set, but boy, that was high skill right there from the back row to slice that one through the D.
Volinas will have her serving ace here. Emma Cash, again, we don't want to mix her up with Coach Emma Nash. Emma Cash with just a little bit of an error there on the court, but a beautiful serving ace from Volinas, and we've been highlighting her all night, and that's exactly why.
Yeah, she's very talented. Got to find a way to get her the ball a little bit more, I think. Lynchburg will restore some order to set 3 as DiNardo just pounds one through the block. I believe she's got 10 kills now. Only Hornet in double figures as far as terminations go.
Kaylee Keogh will check in for Emma Cash. And speaking on Leah DiNardo, she got Defensive Player of the Week recently, and she's trying to make a run for Offensive Player of the Week now.
She's that kind of a combo player too, Ethan. I mean, she really has that skill set, and I expect more in the future. Remember, she's just a sophomore.
She's really that Swiss Army knife for this squad. She gets a hand on that block, but it just goes into no man's land for the Hornets. And so you're still up 20-15 if you're the Hornets. But the Cougars, they're starting to, they're dragging along. They're staying close to Lynchburg, a lot closer than the first 2 sets. So this is a bright spot here in this ball game. Kara Taylor will set up Jamie Smith. Sorry, Kyle.
No, I agree with you, and I liked it. Oh, wow, DiNardo. Again, don't try to make any long points when she's on the court right there. Big shot. But Averett is making Lynchburg work for it. That's what you want to see. That's what you expect to see. in the ODAC. I mean, even teams like Averett, they're 1-6 in league play, but you see the potential is there. But you, again, as that happens, you see the cream kind of rise to the top. You find out, man, Lynchburg really is that good, huh?
Kaylee Keough, that one just kind of rolled on top of the net. That's not something that you see every day, but a great job from KK on the side of the Hornets. 22-15, 3 points away from taking set number 3 and taking this match.
Yeah, that one had some wild spin on it. It's fun to watch.
Cassie Blackmore back in will send this across. Cougars trying to stay on top of this. It'll be Jamie Smith. What a beautiful job from Verlinus to keep that alive. Tori Williamson showing off the defense herself. Jamie Smith will just have to send a free ball over. I mean, this defense, this rally is impressive. Too far. Tori Williamson, Carrie Taylor keeps it alive. Oh my goodness, what a rally we are witnessing. Averett, somebody's trying to close the door. Cara Taylor set for Smith. She's going to send it across. Another dig from Verlinus. Stopped by Cassie Blackmore. Taylor sets up Keough. She's going to send a slow roller across. Won't get it to go. And finally, Sydney Mounts. What a rally we got to watch there.
I think that's one of the best parts about our sport is those long rallies. You never know where they're going to end. You see multiple players diving. I think the standout there was the Cara Taylor dive. That was on the first time on the Lynchburg side as well, and I think it went back and forth across the net another dozen times after that. Good job by Mounts to end the rally. And that's sometimes what coaches will say in those long rallies. They'll tell players, hey, stay terminal, because as the rally goes on, you get more and more tired. You just got to try to take a big swing somewhere and end it.
Mounts trying to keep it alive. Kaylee Keough off the net. What a beautiful job. As Nina will just send this a little too far. Kaylee Keough, good recognition to recognize or realize that the pass was just a little too close to the net and taking advantage of it. And now you're there it is, the dive from Cara Taylor. I mean, that's the beauty of this sport. The athleticism that you get to show off is just incredible.
Yeah, great replay there by the LHSN crew. Naughty by Nestor, Kevin Nestor at the controls. I think he's got AD over there helping him out. Great replay. And you saw the Lynchburg bench react behind the dive there from Cara Taylor. Love that.
Hornets 2 points away from set 3. Avery will send a free ball over. A diving attempt. Can't keep it alive. And from Jana Leak trying to stick with it. And so Averett, they're keeping along. Time's starting to run out for them. You got to find a way where you can go on. You got to go on a large run at this point. You don't want them. You don't want Lynchburg to get to set point because that just adds that much pressure.
Yeah, it's basically over at that point. You got to try to go on your long run right here, and Cougars are making their way up. That's Nina Moore. She hit that twice, and now Lynchburg is 1 point away from a sweep. It would be sweep number 9 of the season for Lynchburg. Averett has been swept 5 times prior to this.
We'll highlight Landon Spots into the ballgame. She was in the ballgame last rally, but now she heads to the service line trying to close it out for the Hornets. 24-17. It's set point. It's match point for the Hornets. Spots will send it across. Good job by the Cougars to keep it alive. Ooh, a little bit of a miscommunication. Jacqueline Bryan and Cassie Blackmore, they run into each other. The good thing is that they're okay, but that's something that you risk in this sport. I mean, especially with this Lynchburg side, with how aggressive they are, not only on the offensive end, but on defense. It seems like everybody on the court wants to keep it alive no matter where the ball is at.
Yeah, totally agree. Good effort there by both.
Wilkerson will serve this one across. Meinhardt calls game, and the Hornets win 3-0. A clean sweep. Set 3, 25-18 in favor of Lynchburg. Beautiful game from the Hornets. They continue their dominance in the ODAC. And just a beautiful ball game, Kyle.
Yeah, Lynchburg moves to 18-12. They have won 12 out of their last 13. Very impressive performance against an Averett squad that outside of set 2 looked pretty competitive there in sets 1 and 3. Cougars will go to 4-13 on the season, 1-7 in ODAC play. And Averett has their little mini win streak snapped. It's 3 in a row now for Lynchburg as they head to Roanoke on Friday for a road matchup.
Averett will head down to Winchester to play Shenandoah on the 17th. That's the Friday, and then immediately after that, they got to do a quick turnaround and play at 1 p.m. over in Harrisonburg, Virginia against Eastern Mennonite. Well, Kyle, this was a great performance. Lynchburg wins 3-0. There were some bright spots. The defense for Averett was fantastic, but overall, Lynchburg, just an incredible game. They dominated the entire way. We saw a little bit closer of a third set, but a great job overall. And we just want to thank you all for watching us. It's a beautiful, beautiful day for volleyball. Obviously, we're indoors, but thank you so much for watching. My name is Ethan Rotsky, Kyle Haney, my partner in crime. It's been a while, but I love doing it with you, Kyle. Nasty Nestor, Kevin Nestor on the director. Really, really bright thanks to him. We'll head to field hockey now. We got a Code Red matchup.
It's a busy week here on campus, homecoming week. We've got the Lynchburg Hornets Hall of Fame, Athletics Hall of Fame tomorrow, homecoming festivities on Saturday, and we'd love to see you out here on campus sometime. Visit lynchburgsports.com for the schedule and the details. And our next volleyball home game, I mentioned, not for 2 weeks, October 29th, we'll be back in for another broadcast. So maybe we can run it back for 3 sets or more, perhaps. Yeah. Ethan, you never know.
Well, thank you so much for watching. Lynchburg wins 3-0 here on LHSN and FloSports.